Hi, I'm Steve Arterburn, and welcome to the 10th session together on our 7-minute marriage solution study. And I hope that this has provided you with some things to stop doing and already some things to start doing to change the dynamics in your relationship. Tonight we talk about the third thing that we can start doing to change the relationship. And this is one that maybe you've abandoned this over the years, because you've stopped caring, you've stopped noticing. Maybe you've gotten so into yourself. Maybe you've become so critical of your spouse that it just died. But this can really change things. And of course, I'm talking about the third thing to start, and that is to start affirming your spouse's strengths. Everybody has strengths. Everybody has some talent that other people don't have. Everybody has a spiritual gift. I have this spiritual gift of hospitality. If anybody in our family is going to put a little pitcher of water by the bed of a guest and a little chocolate X-Lax on the pillow, that's going to be me. I'm that person. I just think about those things. Now, I'm not bragging about that, because hospitality is a spiritual gift. It's easy for me to do it. And so your spouse has a strength that's easier for her to do than some other person. We need to affirm that. We need to reinforce that. So, how do you do that if you don't notice it? So this step really begins by starting to study the strengths that your spouse has. My wife is the best mother that I've ever been around. I cannot believe how wise she is and how nurturing she is and how well she mothers our children. And I tell her that all the time. And she tells me I can never hear that enough, because, as you know, mothering is very frustrating, and many times there aren't a lot of rewards in any given day for being a mother. But that's one of her strengths. And so I affirm that in her. I reinforce that so that she won't be discouraged, that she'll continue to do what she's doing. But maybe you need to study, what is it that my spouse is doing well? Maybe they worry well. I don't know what it is, but there's got to be something in your spouse that is a strength that you can show your appreciation for and that you can affirm them for. So you want to discover it first, and then you want to find ways to affirm it. You want to brag on your spouse. Not just to her, but you want to brag on your spouse to a third party that's probably one day going to tell your spouse that you were bragging on them, so that you're reinforcing whatever that strength is. Now, let's just say that your spouse had a very, very troubled childhood and they don't think they have any strengths. And maybe they don't. Well, one of the greatest gifts that you can give them is to try to find out some things that they're interested in, or things that they were never allowed to do or they never pursued, and then help them pursue that. Maybe they were never allowed to dance. I was raised Southern Baptist. Dancing wasn't a big part of the culture. And I say that I'm a recovering Southern Baptist because I've learned to dance. Well, maybe anytime dancing comes up, your spouse would say, "Oh, I'm a horrible dancer. I never danced, never learned to dance, can't do it." Maybe the next question is, would you like to learn? Maybe they're horrible housekeepers. Would you like to learn? Could we get somebody in to help you develop that strength? Maybe he's not so great at socializing. There are books on how to talk to anybody about anything. So be willing to help each other develop strengths. But more than anything, affirm your spouse for the strengths that they brought into that marriage. And if you can't think of any of them, go back to before you were married and ask yourself, what was it that I admired about this person? And just maybe you will start to admire that again. Discover the strengths, affirm the strengths, and reinforce those strengths. And if you don't see them, help them go find some things that they can enjoy and some strengths that they can develop.